Sorry, I'm kind of trying to hold my temper. The entire council has discussed the Indian tribe proposals over and over. And Bob, I'm shocked that you would try this end run on a day when we only have 9 members available to vote. If 3A is removed from the bill, I will not vote approval, and this bill will not pass today.
Elizabeth.
It seems most fair if we go back to the process on, when we put each individual one in to the package, we made our suggestions, and it was a simple majority, yea or nay, whether or not our allocation would be added to that particular item. If I remember correctly, most of that allocation came from Susan, and I remember that we did pass that. So if we were going to renege on that, it seems like it should be the same process, that we use that simple majority again. I don't think it would be fair to go from the simple majority that put it in there and say, well, now we're going to have a supermajority to take it out. It's to me, it seems like it's in there, period. Unless we revisit what we did before.
I don't understand division well enough to know exactly how to handle this. We have a request for division, and I'm trying to figure out how to honor that. And I don't understand the rules well enough. What do I do, Greg or Janelle, with that request?
Well, Mr. Chair, you have to honor the request for a division because all members have to be able to divide up questions that they don't approve of in any motion. But what you do is you allow the division. You have 2 motions. You've got subdivision 3A, and then you've got the balance of the recommendations. The practice in the Senate, and I think the House does this, but I'm not positive. The practice in the Senate is that you allow the person making the original motion to decide which one is voted on first. So Representative Hansen, making the motion, would decide if he wants you to vote on 3A first or the balance of the bill.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
yes.
This is Representative Hansen, and I find this a really sad moment. The council voted to approve the package. Our past practice has been that we would approve the language based on that vote. That is what is in front of us. We have, yet again, another effort on the same topic, and I think it's really unfortunate, and therefore I withdraw the motion to approve the package.
Okay. So we have no motion to approve the package. So the division is irrelevant at this point. What?
Mr. Chair, it's off the table.
It's off the table. I just wanted to be clear on that. So I think, just to summarize where we're at, we have Bob's desire to strip this out of the bill, and we have a lot of people who want to see it in the bill. I don't know how many of where, but we need 9 votes today. And unless someone gives up, we're going to get out of here without a recommendation. Jane?
Can I make a motion?
You certainly can.
I would like to make a motion to pass it as written, except with the adjustments made in subdivision 7 regarding the project, regarding the funding from federal funds, and the total number of days to submit the net revenues, and keep everything else intact. And I'd like to vote on it as a package as it was presented when we came in and has been sitting here for 2 months.
Okay, I have that motion on the floor. Is there any discussion on that motion?
Again, division, Mr. Chairman, I want to be able to go on record on that one issue, and I would accept the council's recommendation that it be a simple majority vote on whether to include subdivision 3A.
Okay, so we're being asked, I'm just procedurally trying to make sure I get this right. You're making essentially not a division as much as a motion to strip out 3A as an amendment from Jane's motion.
I'll accept it.
Okay, which is a majority vote question. Am I right so far, Greg? Thank you. Any discussion?
How many people could vote on that right now? What do we have?
9.
1, 2, 3, Rick, Jim, David, Bob, Bill, and me, right?
Mm-hmm.
9.
Okay,
Roll call, please.
there has to be because Rick is on the phone.
Thank you.
Scott, or Ron?
Me?
I like your hat so much.
Huh? Do I have a hat on? Yeah. Well, here is the issue. I would not vote to take that project out. But here is the issue that we haven't really confronted very well. And that is one little sentence in their proposal to not allow any wolf hunting on land that we are acquiring for them. And the other thing we haven't really addressed is looked at is what kind of hunting regulations do they allow for the White Earth Band compared to what would be allowed for non-band members. And some of you might be shocked at what that result looks like, which would raise questions about equal access to the hunting, the game, etc. in these lands that we are buying for the band. And I think these are legitimate questions and legitimate concerns. It was always my understanding when we bought hunting land, doesn't matter who, that tribal members would be governed by tribal members and non-tribal members would be governed by the Department of Natural Resources. Almost everything in our hunting laws is based on that. But now we come along, and this is the second project where they said, we want you to help us buy this hunting land. It's going to be open for non-band members, but they can't hunt any wolves because we don't want them to. And my own research is this is not uniform in tribes across America in regard to their attitude towards a wolf. So this is local here. It might still be valid. But I think this is thin ice if it keeps going like that. Now, that has nothing to do, what I just said has nothing to do with the value of the project itself. I would vote for that. But there is that sentence that's been a craw in my chest for a long time as well.
Okay. Other comments?
Mr. Chair, Representative Hanson, just clarifying that a yes vote, would that remove that section?
That is correct.
And a no vote would leave the bill as intact.
That's correct. Because the motion was to strip it out. So a vote in favor would be a yes vote to strip out 3A. Ron?
Mr. Chair, is it possible within our realm to add a sentence to 3A that says, that basically says hunting regulations, all of them, for all game species, will be divided, that band members will abide by the band laws and non-band members will abide by DNR rules. Can we add that stipulation?
No. According, Heather's shaking her head. I don't know. Greg?
Mr. Chair, you've been managing access for hunting in the accomplishment plan, and that would kind of be different from, you've got a general law, you manage it in the accomplishment plan, and the commissioner can restrict access during certain times, things like that, based on the accomplishment plan. This would be different to put it in the law. I don't know if it would go contrary to what you've been doing. The place to do this is in the accomplishment plan, it seems to me.
Okay. Bill?
Mr. Chair, and I know this has been going on long and long forever, and I think everyone knows how I feel about this. I echo the comments of Ron Shera, and I also want to just make comments about when this is done, the taxation. Yes, and I have talked with folks from the reservation, representatives I think that may be in the room, and it's very clear that they do pay sales tax. They should have say in what's going through here, but it doesn't necessarily have to pertain to them taxation, and I think somebody made that clear in one of our other meetings. So that, as well as the idea that we can't, that I'm going to go out there and tell my sportsmen and women out there that they can hunt except up to that boundary with land that's been purchased with their dollars. It's very troublesome, and Ron's right, it's very troublesome. But it has happened already. I think the process has been vetted. We've moved this far with the bill. I guess I'm going to have to vote against my friend Mr. Anderson on this, but with a lot of reservations.
Amanda, will you call the roll? Vote yes is to remove it from the bill.
We'll start at the top. Bob Anderson.
Yes.
Jim Cox.
Yes.
Representative Rick Hansen.
No.
Chairman Hartwell.
No.
Senator Bill Ingebrigtsen.
No.
Jane Kingston.
No.
Representative Benny McNamara absent. Sue Olson.
No.
Scott Rawl ineligible to vote. Senator Tom Saxhog absent. Ron Shara.
No.
Elizabeth Wilkins.
No.
Motion fails. Any other comments on the bill?